Researchers are hearing more and more about mental health needs from the Knoxville and Knox County homeless population. That is according to the biennial study that the Knoxville-Knox County Homeless Coalition released today. 10 News reporter Stephanie Haynes explains what's in that report. Stephanie?
John, mental health, substance abuse, lack of affordable housing, and legal history are all big takeaways, and it's why city and county leaders continue to say that homelessness is a complex problem.
Every 2 years, we learn more and more about the Knoxville and Knox County homeless population. This year's biennial study conducted 215 interviews in January, and the findings are in. The leading self-reported cause of homelessness is drug addiction, which has been increasingly reported over the years since the study began in 1986. Other reasons include alcoholism, no money for housing, or a lost job. More than half of the respondents in the study said affordability is their biggest hurdle for finding housing, and 64% of those interviewed reported a history of mental health treatment, compared to 58% in 2016.
But that's a pretty good clue. If you have 60-something% of your folks reporting mental illness and mental health treatment, that gives you an indication of how serious the problem is.
The biennial study is released at the same time as the Knox HMIS's annual report. HMIS measures how many people are using services to help them get out of homelessness, like CARM or Salvation Army. This year, the HMIS report shows the number of people using those services in 2017 decreased by 5% from 2016. That's just under 9,000 people. Also this year, coalition workers surveyed 100 people under the I-40 overpass on North Broadway. Surveyors found that the main reason people live there is because they got evicted, they're jobless, or they don't have any money.
City leaders and service providers want to make clear that they work hard to offer services to those people living under the I-40 overpass, and more than half of the people surveyed say they did get some help from an agency like CARM or Salvation Army. John?
Stephanie Haynes on the update. We have made a commitment to closely follow this issue of homelessness in our community, and you can learn more about the circumstances that perpetuate the homeless under that bridge and other places, and the resources available and how you can help. That's all online at WBIR.com. Our special report, Out of the Shadows.